meetings may be audio or visually recorded. Do I hear a motion to use meeting minutes as roll call by unanimous consent?
Move.
All right, any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Okay, so now we are on to assistant supervisor of election nominees. They have been made into a special block, special rule, and added into a block, I should say. All right, need deliberation on these is where we were.
I think that looking through their applications and resumes, you could tell that they're very qualified. And I also think that with Lexi being the one nominating them, she's been the supervisor elections multiple times now. She knows exactly what to look for in these applicants. And I trust her best judgment when it comes to her nominations.
Yeah, our current SOE has served for one of the longest times of any recent SOEs. I have faith in her throughout this process and for picking the most qualified applicants. These are people involved in a variety of service organizations, like you said. So I see no problem with any of these. It's also a good entry-level position, as previously stated before, to give people experience in the election process. So I have faith that hopefully someday one of these people will become supervisor of elections themselves. Right. Any further deliberations? All right, hearing none, we now move into a vote on the block, special rule block of assistant supervisor of election nominees. Do I hear any motions at this time?
I move to approve the special rule block of ASOE nominations by unanimous consent.
There's been a move to approve the block of nominees for assistant supervisor of elections by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. All right, and now we are back in line for deliberations on the seats that were interviewed for today. Okay, so with these, there'll be 3 minutes of deliberation per open seat. There's only one open graduate seat, one open business seat, one open freshman seat, thank you, and one open Judiciary Committee seat. So it'll just be 3 minutes for each. And after deliberations, I'll open the floor to nominations, and that's about it. So we will have 3 minutes of deliberations. Let's start in the order that we went in and go with the Judiciary Committee seats. So is there anyone that would like to debate on any nominees at this time?
Yeah. I think that out of the applicants, Caroline Kim has shown a commitment to the Judiciary Committee, whether it was clerking for Judish, or having ideas to work with INC and one-pagers, that people on the committee are more knowledgeable on how to carry out their duties. I think that she is the most well-rounded applicant when it comes to this committee, and just being able to see her working towards this goal for so long has been really, really cool. So I think that she would do amazing on this committee.
Yeah, to add on to that, when I had served as Judiciary Chair, Caroline's had clerked the most meetings of any person in the chamber, almost all of them throughout the spring and summer. So I think she's a very well qualified person, has seen the committee in action plenty. So
I agree. I also like how she quoted specific sections that she thought were important from the RMP. I think that shows a really innate knowledge. I do want to touch on a couple other applications just because I thought that they were strong. Like Berkeley Norris, I thought she had really good ideas of the rotating clerk sign-up sheet and a really strong interview. But I still do want to push the sentiment that I think Caroline Kim is the stronger candidate, just because of her dedication to the Judiciary Committee. I mean, clerking throughout the summer and the current term shows a really strong passion, and I think that passion is something that we as a committee, I think, should honor, especially when someone continues coming back. I think that shows that she's gonna really be a dedicated member. And her experience as a congressional intern and, you know, qualifications with detail orientation, I think, is really strong.
okay. Do I hear any further deliberation at this time? All right, so we'll now open the floor to motions. So do I hear any motions at this time for the Judiciary Committee seat?
I move to nominate Caroline Kim for the open Judiciary seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to nominate Caroline Kim for the open Judiciary Committee seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? All right, hearing none. She's been approved for that, or nominated for that, I should say. So we will take that in the note. All right, now we are in line for the open graduate seat. Thank you. 3 minutes of deliberation for the seat. Are there any members that the committee would like to debate on at this time?
Yes, Kyle Conger's energy walking into this room. I really would love to see him carry out his passion and his engaging demeanor into the Senate chamber. You could tell that he has experience in a lot of different fields, especially from his resume, but he really does prioritize efficiency and collaboration, which that's just being a senator. So I think that applying his skill set to being in Senate, especially as a grad senator, would be very, very good for the Senate as a whole.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I also like that he is very involved or very passionate about collaboration between multiple universities. I think that that shows a strong ability to see a problem with people in MBA programs struggling to find job opportunities coming out of their program, or even in their final years of their program when they're looking for professional experience. Especially with someone, as he mentioned, with such strong experience in building a business. I think that he shows the ability to observe a disconnect and come up with a resolution. So I think that that's a really strong quality. Just to kind of reiterate what Majority Party Leader Murphy was saying.
All right, any further deliberation? Okay, we'll now move into motions. Do I hear any motions at this time? Graduate seat.
I move to nominate Kyle Conger for the open permanent graduate seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to nominate Kyle Conger for the open permanent graduate seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, his nomination is approved. Okay. We are now moving on to the freshman's business seat? Business seat.
Freshman. There's no business seat.
All right,
It's
freshman
because he
seat.
talked about business.
It's just we're
Good
talking
lord,
because
okay.
Kyle's like really
Yeah,
in business.
talking about
We're there,
business.
we're there. Freshman
Will any
seat.
members of the public who walked in please state their name for the record?
Abigail Mellowman.
Woo!
All right, and we are now on to the open freshman seat. So there'll be 3 minutes of deliberation for this. Is there anyone that any of the committee members would like to debate on at this time?
I think one person that had a really good interview was Sachin. Once again, the energy coming out of this person was so good. I really want to see them bring it into the Senate chamber, but just hearing his dedication to student government from 6th grade until graduating high school, especially as a freshman, not being able to get as much experience in college at this point, was just really cool to hear. Being a secretary in 6th grade, senator in sophomore year, he's gotten involved on campus just a little bit already, and really is passionate about freshman-focused events. I think that he's an incredible candidate for the freshman seat specifically, which is pretty hard to find. So I think Sachin would be a great person for this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that, like Majority Party Leader Murphy was saying, he came in just spewing passion, and I think that that's something that is really inspiring to see, especially from a freshman who is probably intimidated by coming into a committee like this. I also think that his ability, again, as I mentioned with the previous candidate we were deliberating on, to see a disconnect and want to pursue a way to resolve it is a really strong ability, especially as someone who's a freshman. I mean, he talked about having club fairs catered towards freshmen specifically, because he's correct in saying that a lot of times the window for getting involved is very early in the semester, and freshmen who may not understand how to get involved right away or still getting adjusted might miss the window and be delayed on getting involved later. So I thought that that was a really important idea to kind of bounce on.
Any further deliberation at this time? All right. So now we have open the floor to not motions. Do I hear any motions on the open freshman seat at this time?
I move to nominate Sachin, I'm gonna try, Samnarain for the open permanent freshman seat.
There's been a motion to nominate Sachin, I apologize again if I mispronounce his name, Samnarian for the open permanent freshman seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. So his nomination has been agenda. All right, we're now in line for motions to the agenda. So we're now in line for motions to the agenda. Do I hear any motions at this time?
I move to add all excused and unexcused absences to the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all excused and unexcused absences to the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
I move to add the legislation from the Judiciary Committee hearing on January 25th to the agenda by unanimous consent. To first reading.
Would you mind saying all past legislation?
All past legislation.
We'll remake that motion.
I will remake the motion. No, you're totally fine. I move to add all past legislation by the Judiciary Committee from their meeting on January 25th to the agenda under first readings by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all past legislation from the Judiciary Committee's meeting that will take place later today on January 25th to the agenda under first readings by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
I move to add SSB 2025-1218, 1219, and 1220 to the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add SSB 2025, 1218, 2025, 1219, 2025, 1220. Correct, those are the numbers?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, to the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
I move to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Seeing as our business has been complete, I adjourn this meeting at 12:28 p.m.